So today's Monday. It's February 16th. It's President's Day. And I have the day off from work. It's a little before 8. And I am on my way to the gym. A couple of things that I have to get done today. So I figured I'd bring you along. I'm hopefully going to get to the gym in the next 15 minutes because I have to be out of the gym by about 9:30, 9:45 the very latest, because I'm going to go get my car serviced. So I will be driving there, getting a little bit of computer work. And yeah, so I figured I would take you along the day with me to show you like a random day off from work and what I do on those days. So I have, as always, my protein coffee. Hopefully you can see it with this glare from the sun. I don't know. I always take this in the morning with me to the gym. I sip a little bit until I get to a certain point on my drive, and then I switch over to my pre-workout. Today we're going to do shoulders. I'm starting my new program that I just did for myself. So every time I do a program, I usually program my training splits about like 8 to 12 weeks. Then I usually take about a week to kind of see what feels good, add in new exercises, see what's working, and then I plan another 8 weeks. So this is week 1 of my next 8-week program. So today we're doing shoulders, switching up a couple of exercises. And yeah, so I'll show you a little bit of that, and we will see you at the gym. Okay, go ahead. All right, so I'm done with my workout. I had such a nice workout. I was able to film a couple of exercises, actually all of them, but I have to see how I put them into the video because the gym was so packed today. And I always try to be mindful of not like getting other people in my videos. So I have to figure out how to kind of cut that out. I did a really good shoulder and tricep workout. I got a little bit of chest with my push-ups. I don't really work out chest too much because I just really don't need it. And yeah, so I'll show you a little bit of that. I have just enough time to go get some Starbucks before I head to the dealer to get my oil changed. And I just purchased this car back in May. So my old car was from 2010. So it was a very old car. And then I inherited my dad's car, who passed away a few years ago. And that was like a 2012. So I hadn't purchased a car in so long. And my husband has been doing the maintenance on my car all this time. But now that I have a new car, I have to take it to the dealer or wherever to get the oil changed and all that stuff. So yeah. And it's annoying because I'm not like one to really want to take care of my cars and do things like that. My husband always does that for me. I know I'm spoiled. But yeah, I am on my way. So for breakfast, what I'm going to get is I'm going to get an egg white feta wrap. I still have my coffee, so I'm going to finish that, and then I'm going to get the egg white feta wrap. I usually get like the egg bites as well, but I'm not super hungry. I figured that'll carry me over until lunchtime. I don't want to like not eat anything because then I know I'm going to get hungry over there and there's not going to be many good options. Not that Starbucks is the best option, but at least it's something that I can easily track and pull up on my tracker. Fairly healthy, fairly low fat, somewhat high protein. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to listen to a podcast on my way to the car dealer, and I will see you when I get there. So I'm back from getting my oil change and my tires rotated and all the stuff. And I did a little bit of work on the computer when I was there. And it brings me to a topic I want to talk about. So I got an Amazon package. I purchased this book because I was listening to the Ed Milet podcast about, this topic was about self-doubt and self-sabotage, and the person that was on there was Dr. Sade Zahra. They talk about her book, and it's about how to rewire your brain when you have self-doubt, and it talks a lot about different personality traits and how a lot of high functioning people actually do suffer from self-doubt. But yeah, so I really like listening, should I say, to personal development podcasts and things like that. And to be honest, I'm not the best at finishing books, but one of my goals for 2026 is to read 5 books. Let's see if I can get that done. This is hopefully one of them. I heard it was an easy read, but it is a pretty big one. So I'm going to try to read this one. There's a couple of other ones that I purchased that have been sitting here in my office for a while that I will try to read and finish this year. One of my goals for 2026 is reading more. And then I want to talk about my other goal. So I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for several years. I really started watching YouTube in 2020 around the pandemic, and I loved watching fitness influencers and things like that. And I've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel for many, many years. And just that like self-doubt and that worry and I don't know how to edit and things like that has stopped me from doing that. But I decided this year that I was going to do it. And obviously I have, because I am here recording this video and you guys are watching. But I wanted to touch a little bit about how as we age, we should really try new things. After I turned 40, every year I've been wanting to try something different. And one of the things that, like I said, I wanted to try was having a YouTube channel. But it was that self-doubt on, I don't know how to edit. It's too technical. I don't like it. All those different thoughts that came into my head has stopped me from doing so. And I've tried different things. Social media gives me anxiety trying to create. I love to watch, but to create videos like reels and short form content is really not something that I actually look forward to doing. But I've always wanted to do long form content. And even my daughter says that I do better with long form, which she's noticed, which was interesting. But I just want to mention this to whoever is out there thinking that they're too old to start something new, or starting their own YouTube channel, or learning a new skill, that it's not too late. Because I know that as we get older, it might take us a little bit longer to pick up on certain things, but that doesn't mean that it's not possible. I've actually been enjoying editing my videos. I have one that I'm in the middle of editing now that I'm very proud of myself, because I'm able to work through the transitions and just picking up new skills from the editing software that I purchased. And I'm not saying that it's easy, because I finished the video yesterday, or almost finished the video yesterday. And then when I was at the dealer today getting my oil change, I said, okay, I'm just going to work on figuring out how to mute a couple of clips. And when I tell you, it took me an hour and a half to figure out how to mute a couple of clips. And it kept messing up, muting the whole thing. And then I had to keep fixing it, but I got it done. So I'm super happy about that. So I'm definitely celebrating the small wins when it comes to my editing, and I'm learning here. And I just hope that you guys enjoy my videos, and that as I keep editing and posting more videos, that I'll keep learning new skills on how to make my videos better. Right now, the program that I am using is called Script, and it has a lot of nice features that I like, but it's still a little bit of a ways for me to get to understand it. I did one of my other videos in CapCut. I've the paid version of CapCut for over a year, and I barely touched it. And then all of a sudden, now that I'm doing this long form, I've been working in there. So I'm going back and forth between CapCut and Descript because I'm just trying to see like which one works best with how my brain works and things like that. But yeah, you can do hard things, and we all can do hard things, and we can all learn new things even as we get older. I've always prided myself in knowing that I'm a smart person. But it's like I'm a smart person in certain ways, but I've never really tried to figure out how to use that smartness to use them in other skills, right? I'm really excited about seeing what else I can learn when it comes to editing and videos and things like that. I said that I'm going to get a certain amount of videos up on YouTube, and then I'm going to purchase a camera so that way I don't have to film everything on my phone. And yeah, so I'm gonna go make myself some lunch. The internet is out at home, so I'm actually very grateful that I got done what I needed to get done on my video while I was at the dealer. And I'm gonna make myself some lunch. Maybe I'll do a little recording of what I have. I'll show you what I'm having for lunch. And if the internet is still not out, it's the perfect time to get started reading. So yeah, so I'll be back. Hey. What am I thinking? Oh, what is wrong with me? Okay, let's figure this out. I'm a little hungry, so definitely need to eat because I feel like my brain's slowing down. All right, so I did a little bit of reading, and what happens every time I read, I fell asleep. So it's about 5 o'clock on Monday. I had every intention of being productive on the computer, but of course, everything I need to do, you need the internet. So I decided that I'm going to wash my makeup brushes. And then I'm gonna probably get started on dinner. Maybe take the dog for a walk. And yeah, take it from there. Hear me over this water. Cold? No, everybody's cold water. So my husband got me this for Christmas. So tell me, ladies, are you like, for gifts, do you like practical gifts, or do you like things like jewelry, purses, and things like that? I like practical gifts. Somehow I've become that person that wants the pots and pans, and that wants things like makeup brush cleaners. It's like, when it comes to jewelry, I ask for jewelry every once in a while, but it's not really something that I always ask for. And I'm like at that stage in life where if I want something, I just buy it for myself. So when I ask for certain things, it's things that, like, although I like them, I probably would spend the money on something else. So those are the things that I ask my husband for Christmas and birthdays and things like that. So what I asked for Christmas this year was those folding tables that I sit at when I have dinner, because I mean, not for nothing, I'm past the stage of sitting at the dinner table. And I like to watch my shows when I come home. So I have my ritual every day. Like, I come home, catch up real quick, but when I sit down, I need my 45 minutes to watch General Hospital before I can put on a conversation with anybody else. But yeah, so this year I asked for this makeup brush cleaner, which I thought was super cute. I thought that I would be cleaning like my brushes weekly. No, this is the second time I use it since Christmas. And yeah, so I'm trying to be better at cleaning my makeup brushes. I'm not doing the best job, but we do what we can. I'm recording. You go to the gym?
Good thing I didn't come in here singing.
Are you and Mia done?
Yeah.
Done cackling?
I'm like that Ricky Martin.
You girls are so cute.
That Ricky Martin thing from the Super Bowl is stuck in my head because the way he sings it is so like it's just stuck. But I know that what I'm saying, so Mia's like singing it, and I'm just like
you're like singing it.
I'm like mumbling the words. I just said that last part.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
All right. Have a good time at the gym. I was gonna go, but I'm gonna make dinner. So.
What's for dinner?
I don't know, like a beef thing. All right, so I finished washing my makeup brushes and now they're just drying. The last time I used the washer, the little machine, I didn't put them to dry, I just laid them out on a towel. So when I pressed the button, it said 2H. So I'm assuming that's 2 hours. If it was either 2H or 5H. I threw out the instructions, but I'm assuming that's 2 hours. I'll probably go back and check on them in 30 minutes, but I'm gonna get started on dinner. I bought like a pot roast and I'm gonna try to make that tonight. Honestly, I'm so lazy. I don't feel like making dinner tonight, but I already took out the meat and we gotta eat. So I'm gonna make that, cut up some veggies, maybe put it in like the Instant Pot. I think my Instant Pot broke, but I still have it. And I don't know if it broke or if the outlet got tripped the last time we tried using it. So I'm gonna try using it one more time. And if for any reason it's not working, then I'm gonna throw it out, because when that happened, it was over the summer. And I did what I do quite often, is I put it back in the closet and didn't even look at it. So hopefully it's not broken and it actually does work, because I do want to sear the pot roast and then put it in the like pressure cooker part. So we'll see. Let's try this. All right, I'm gonna season this up. Put some of my Spanish seasoning on there. Basically my staples. Every time I try to veer away from what I normally do, I don't like it as much. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. So people always like my cooking, and I'm gonna be honest, like I don't cook anything fancy. Like even after I started monitoring my food because of my fitness journey and my weight loss and things like that, I basically kept the same foods that I eat. I just prepare them differently and making sure I'm not really like eating a lot of fried foods or things like that. But honestly, I don't really enjoy fried food that much anymore, so it kind of works out. But I use the same ingredients that I've always used. And believe it or not, I have a pantry full of spices. And every once in a while, I'll pick something different. But it's basically Goya adobo, Badia sazon, Goya for color. And sometimes I throw in a little bit of sofrito. And this is actually not all the time, but if I have it, I use it. If I don't have it, I don't worry about it. So I'm gonna make like a pot roast tonight. And I actually think I might put this in the oven. I think I might try searing it in the Instant Pot, then baking it in the oven in this same little pan here. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I don't have a specific type of sofrito that I like. I just buy whatever they have at Walmart. Usually 1 or 2 little spoons is fine. But all this is basically like onions, peppers, oregano, cilantro, all the good stuff, tomato, everything put together, blended together, and it turns into a seasoning. So believe it or not, you have your vegetables right here. It's interesting when you think about it that way. Like basically this is just a bunch of blended vegetables and herbs. It's not unhealthy, right? So I'm just gonna season this up real good, sit in here for a minute while I cut up my veggies. I'm gonna try to turn the Instant Pot on and hopefully it works. Let's get the sides of that, put some seasoning on the sides. We are not chefs here, but we do know how to cook. So when I was younger, I had to teach myself how to cook because I grew up with a single mom who hated cooking. I remember we lived off of boxed cereal growing up and spaghetti and corned beef out of the can. So that's what we ate, and that was literally on repeat. And to this day, my mom still does not like cooking. All right, so this is what we're doing. We got potatoes. Probably, I might just use these. I think I might just use these white ones. I like the taste of these better. And then we have carrots. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna cut these up. I'm gonna let this kind of sit for a bit. I'm gonna cut up these veggies and have those ready for when it's time to put in with the pot roast. So where was I? Oh yeah. So my mom didn't cook. So I had to learn how to cook on my own. And I remember the first time I made rice, it was so, what's the saying you say in Spanish? Like, amogollado? Is that how you say it? Something like that. But it was like literally like rice pudding. And I remember my mom was so happy that I made her dinner. I made the family dinner that day and I was so proud. And she ate that rice like it was the best rice she had ever eaten in her life. And honestly, it was disgusting. And since that day, I've actually learned how to make rice a lot better, obviously. I still don't know how to measure by sight. I still use cups when I measure. I've never gotten that whole, like, put your finger in the rice and you know how much water it is or whatever. I don't know. I still have to measure by ratio. And yeah, so little by little, I actually really started liking cooking. And as I got older, I would experiment with dishes, and I loved having like cookbooks and, you know, trying out new recipes. But then I became an adult, and then adulting happened, and I realized that I needed to just cook quickly. So although I'll experiment from time to time on different dishes, you'll never really like see me have anything that has like too many ingredients. So it's usually, you know, 5 ingredients or less type things. I actually do enjoy cooking. It's just, you know, life gets busy, but I like cooking for my family. I like enjoying them eat, seeing them eat. I like having the compliments. And so when I can, I do cook, which, like I've said in other videos, I cook a couple of times a week, and then I just make enough for multiple days or multiple meals. And I'm actually very fortunate that my husband does cook as well. So we eat most of our meals in the house. We do go out from time to time, but as I've been eating healthier, I actually would rather not spend the money eating something that's not worth my calories or my money. So yeah, so I'm just gonna finish chopping this up, and then I'll show you if the Instapot works for me to brown that meat. All right, so I seared it on one side. I just flipped it over. I have it cooking on the other side. And I think I'm gonna attempt to just make the dish in here so I have less to wash. And then I can easily turn this on and go for a walk rather than leaving it in the oven. Let's see how that works out. I've never actually done a pot roast this way, and I see a lot of people brown the pot roast first and then cook it. So if anybody has any suggestions on how to easily make a pot roast where it's browned and then you cook it and roast it, let me know. But I think I'm gonna put it in here because I don't wanna dirty more dishes. I want something like a one pot type of meal and be done. Okay, so I think I'm gonna make a chia seed pudding for tomorrow. It's gonna be my Fairlife milk, scoop of protein powder, and chia seeds. I'm gonna leave that overnight and have that for breakfast tomorrow. So I'm gonna make 2 of them in case my daughter wants one, but if she doesn't, then I'll just have 2. I'll have one for tomorrow and one for the next. So I'm not like know what the right ratio is for chia seed pudding. So I haven't gotten it perfect yet. So let's see if this works. So I'm measuring out, I don't know if you can see that I'm measuring. Hold on one second. I'm measuring out 4 ounces of milk. I saw somebody else do a chia seed pudding, and I think that was the ratio that they had. It doesn't seem like a lot of, maybe like, let's do 5. Let's do 5 ounces of milk and 1 scoop of protein powder. I use this protein powder for everything. I use it for my coffee. Basically, this is the same thing I put in my coffee, but now I'm gonna have it with chia seeds. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, but that's so much processed, and you gotta get your food from whole natural sources, which I do. And I obviously have whole natural lunch and dinner, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do in order to meet your goals. And it's better than getting nothing done. That's the way I see it. And honestly, I get my protein in, my stomach is good, it doesn't give me any digestion issues, and I hit my goals. I think adding the protein powder will thicken it up a bit too, because it makes it like a thicker liquid base. And I'm just gonna put 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. It's a lot of fiber. So I'm gonna put this overnight. Probably before I go to bed, I'll mix it up again. As you may know, with chia seed pudding, you have to leave it overnight because that's when chia seeds absorb the liquid. And yeah, and we'll see what this ends up being. All right, so dinner is done. This is the final result. We have the shredded beef that I just took out of the Instant Pot. I'm going to put this back in and mix it up and then serve it over some rice. And that's gonna be dinner for tonight. All right, so I'm gonna close out my video here. Hope you enjoyed the content for today on a day off of work in my life. Got a little bit of food and exercise and just running errands and what I do on a normal extended weekend. And if you like this kind of content, press the like button below, and I hope you subscribe so that I can bring more content like this to you. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.